There can be no doubt that the Greek real estate market is red hot and prices have been rising strongly. However, I still think that in many parts of this beautiful country, property is still very affordable and still offers investment opportunities. Now, this is obviously not the case on the beautiful islands of Mykonos and particularly Santorini. In prime Santorini, property can easily cost €10,000 per square metre and more. And in Mykonos, prime location easily costs €7,000 per square metre. Now, the nearby islands of Paros and Naxos are also expensive, as is Rhodes, where property prices are edging towards €3,000 per square metre on average. Now, before I give you my top 5 places to buy, I want to give some honourable mention to some places that didn't quite make it, such as Zanthi, where property prices are on average just under €2,000 per square metre. Now, the large island of Evia, which can be reached by car from Athens in under 2 hours, is also worth considering, with prices at only €1,300 per square metre on average. And although the islands of Samos and Lesbos have had issues with migrants and many are wary of their proximity to Turkey, prices on both these islands are incredibly cheap at around €950 and €1,050 per square metre on average respectively. However, the place that came closest to making it to the top 5 was the lovely town of Hastoria in northern Greece, where property prices have dropped a fair bit over the last year and are now incredibly cheap at less than €800 per square metre on average, although unfortunately Hastoria has suffered a population decline. Anyway, coming in at number 5 is the beautiful island of Corfu. Now, although property prices have risen a lot over the last year, in actual fact over 21% to average just under €2,100 per square metre on average, I still think Corfu deserves a place in the top 5. This lovely Ionian island has a lot to offer. It is steeped in history, with the old town in Corfu city being a World Heritage Site. And for lovers of archaeological sites, Corfu is a true paradise. There are also many castles, libraries and theatres, and the infrastructure on the island is very good, such as the roads. The roads are very good here, and there are regular buses on the island. There's international ferries to Italy, as well as, of course, other Greek islands, and an international airport that flies to numerous destinations in Europe, as well as Dubai and Tel Aviv in Israel. Now, other lovely things that this island of nearly 100,000 offers are some wonderful monasteries and churches, beaches with crystal clear waters, tasty local cuisine, plus warm and welcoming neighbours. And another good thing, facilities-wise, you have many local restaurants and tavernas, and you also have several large supermarket chains. And of course, very important, I want to add, the island has very good medical facilities. Now, the climate is also good, as the winters are mild and the summers are less hot than the mainland. So I expect property prices here to increase further. Now, coming in at number 4 is the city of Salonica. Now, had I made this video a year ago, without doubt, Salonica, with a population of just over 800,000, would have been in a higher position. Salonica, for me, is a very underrated city, which is strange, because it is the second largest city in Greece. However, though, prices have gone up a lot over the last year, increasing by over 21% to an average of €2,150 per square metre. And Salonica, in my opinion, still deserves, though, to be in the top 5. The old town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and there are many resorts, galleries, archaeological sites and museums in this lovely city. But more importantly, the population is growing and it already, as a city, is very densely populated. So this should ensure that property prices will remain high and probably go up even more. And Salonica will also have a metro system in operation by the end of 2024. And I think this will mean more investment in the city and obviously help property prices. And it has the largest university in the Balkans with over 100,000 students, so renting out a property should not be an issue here. Salonica also has the second most important port in Greece and an international airport which flies to numerous destinations in Europe and Tel Aviv in Israel. The city actually also has an extensive bus network system, and overall the city offers a high quality of life with excellent healthcare facilities, good schools, and, as said, a very vibrant cultural scene. So I still think Salonica deserves to be in the top 5. Now, coming in at number 3 is the city of Zanthi, situated in the region of Thrace in the northeast of Greece, and with a population of nearly 73,000, Zanthi is a party city, as it has a very high student population. There are no shortage of cafes, bars, restaurants and nightclubs, and the city is steeped in history with over 1,000 listed buildings. It also has carnival old towns festivals held every year, and it is quite a sporty city with numerous sports teams. As well as a university, Zanthi also has good medical facilities. But more importantly, from an investor perspective, Zanthi is very interesting, especially in view of the fact that the population is constantly rising. Back in 91, there were 38,000 people living here. Fast forward 32 years later, and the figure has almost doubled. Transport-wise, Zanthi has a bus station with daily services to other cities in Greece. It also has a railway station with daily services to Salonica, and the nearest airport is Kavala Airport, which is just over 40 kilometers away. And this airport has flights to several German cities, plus Vienna in Austria. Otherwise, Salonica Airport is just over 200 kilometers away. But best of all, real estate prices are only 1,100 euros per square meter on average, and they've only gone up by around 7% in the last year. So I think there is more room for property price growth in this city. Anyway, coming in at number 2 is Crete. Now, Crete is the largest of the Greek islands, as well as being the 5th largest island in the Mediterranean. The island, with a population of 600,000, has a lot to offer, namely wonderful beaches, caves, landscapes, monasteries, and of course ancient ruins. It's an island which is rich in history from many different eras. And more importantly, the infrastructure is very good. It's got 8 public hospitals, 3 universities, and an extensive bus network. It's got 2 major seaports and 2 international airports. Of course, there are plenty of excellent places to eat. Actually, there's plenty of fresh food grown on the island. And best of all, property prices are still very cheap, on average under 2,000 euros per square meter. Now, seeing as the island is quite large, one can genuinely ask where on the island is the best place to invest. Now, Hania is an obvious candidate with an international airport, its charming streets, colourful architecture, and a stunning lighthouse. However, prices have gone up by over 17% in the last year, and average property prices in the prefecture are around 2,200 euros per square metre. I would personally pick Hiriaklo for the following reasons. Firstly, price increases have been more limited here, and average prices in the prefecture stand at only 1,500 euros per square metre. Also, another good reason to invest here is that it has more of a city feel, so hence offers more amenities than Hania. And finally, Hiriaklo also is due to have a new airport built, which is going to really transform the place. So I expect with a new airport, which is projected to be the second busiest in Greece, this will only help property prices. Now, coming in at number one, this will not surprise you, is Athens. Now, Athens comes out top when it comes to buying real estate in Greece. Athens is the cradle of civilization of Greece, and really it is an amazing city. It has over 3 million people, and the population, albeit slowly, is growing. Athens is actually already one of the most densely populated cities in Europe, and Athens is really what you can call an international hub when it comes to traveling. From Athens Airport, you can fly to numerous destinations in Europe, as well as a number of cities in North America and a number of cities in the Gulf states. You can also fly to Tunis, Marrakesh, Addis Ababa and Cairo in Africa, as well as Singapore, Beijing and Shanghai in Asia. So numerous destinations. It really is an international hub. And it also flies to Tel Aviv in Israel. Athens also has the largest passenger port in Europe, and it's a great place as you can get around the city with buses, trams and suburban electric trains. And of course, Athens, although it will change because Salonica is getting a metro system, Athens currently is still the only city in Greece with a metro system. And in recent years, Athens has seen a number of projects implemented which has transformed it into a modern global metropolis. Now, although prices have been on the rise, you can still buy property in the city centre for around €2,000 per square metre on average. And this has been, we've seen here an increase of 14.5% over the last year in the city centre, which is less than Salonica. Now, this does surprise me. And it also tells me, I think, there is more scope for growth in the city centre when it comes to property prices going forward. And it's also easy to rent out in the city centre, and the yields can be pretty good at 6 to 7%. Now, of course, other areas of Athens are a lot more expensive, such as the Riviera, but I would say you should concentrate in the city centre. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I shall see you very soon on the next video.